Like it takes
definitely there are a lot of other issues in the city of San Jose or anywhere else that police have to worry about, Coffee shops are just, usually family owned, making a living, and people make a choice to come to these places, it's from how I see it, it's worse going downtown, going to bars, because guys are intoxicated and they're getting in fights and stuff like that. Whereas here, they're just here to hang out, drink some coffee, maybe sometimes even do business. A lot of people come here, just to meet up, do business. I mean, yeah, there fights do happen. Fights do happen. Yeah, there are gangs, but I mean that's the same with everywhere else. There's all sort of people here. There's business people. There's gangsters. There's normal people. It's not all gangsters and like all bad people. That's how our community views it. They just think that coffee shops are filled with gangsters and like skanky looking girls. No, they're normal people. Their city all agreed that you should not have nudity in a coffee shop, which is fair. Smoking due to a health issue, which is fair. And arcade games. I think what you mean arcade games that are banned are the ones that are meant for gambling. People put money in, and if you win a certain amount, you get paid. It's sort of like gambling, which are all understandable. Those are all illegal. But the place you're at right here, there's nothing illegal. There's no nudity. There's no arcade games that are used to gamble. So yeah, it would be a good idea, but I feel like right now there are a lot of other issues they should worry about rather than regulating on stuff like this.
Differences between Hooters and coffee shops. Coffee shops is a lot more cultured. You hear, come on, man. You hear like music, like Vietnamese music. You don't get that at Hooters. Hooters don't have no cultural thing. It's just alcohol. They have alcohol there. They don't have alcohol here at coffee shops.
They don't.
Some places do, but not all. They dress differently. Different uniforms. They shop at Baby Gap.
Yeah, the girls are allowed to express themselves differently here.
Yep.
At Hooters, there's one way and one way only. It's the Hooters way.
Well, I knew that it was a place I can go get Vietnamese coffee and maybe watch some sports games and obviously see some, beautiful women. So that's what I was expecting to see. I've never witnessed any criminal activity per se in a coffee shop. I've seen people smoking in a coffee shop, which I know you can't do, so I think that was the closest thing I ever saw to actual criminal activity. I didn't see any prostitution happening. I didn't see money laundering or extortion or anything like that. I didn't see any gang activity, so that's all I really saw. I mean, I understand that some of those things are things that the coffee shops have a reputation for, but I never saw it personally. Well, I mean, I kind of see it as being affecting both ways, positive and negative. I think that it's a cultural thing for Vietnamese men, especially, to go have coffee and sit around and smoke and chat and crack jokes with their old friends. I mean, it's a very cultural thing for us to do. On the other hand, I think that comes in a conflict with perhaps breaking American law, California law, around nudity in a place that's not considered, a strip club or, some place like that. So, I think that that's where the conflict is today, is that sometimes culture comes in a conflict with societal norms or the law. And I think that that's the issue. I don't see anything wrong with coffee shops in and of themselves. I actually think there's more problems with, say, like gambling establishments in the city, because I think that that has a higher tendency to break down the family unit more than, say, a coffee shop. But I mean, I do know some men that are, they're kind of addicted to coffee shops. Like they'll go every day, they'll just kind of hang out all day, and I think that too much of anything is a bad thing. So I'm concerned about that, but I'm also concerned about whether or not there's nudity going on in there. If that's the case, then these aren't licensed establishments to have nudity in them. From the article I read in the Mercury News, it states that because of the poor economy, with a tougher economy, the women take off more. I mean, that sounds like that's what's happening, and so I hope that there will, that type of thing has its limitations. You can only take it so far before it becomes an issue, a public policy issue, it becomes a health issue. We don't know how they're treating the women that are working there. So those are things that you have to be concerned about. Are there gang activities? I know that gang activities and extortion took place at coffee shops a long time ago. I don't know if it's still happening today, but I'd be concerned about that as well. I love Agents of Change.